See, that's what I'm saying. It happens sometimes. What happens is you take a little sabbaticals, and look what happened. You come back, and all of a sudden, they done changed the wheel.
You come back and it's the new year, brother. Happy
Uh,
New Year, brother. Happy New Year. Can you even say that anymore since it's like the fourth day of the new year?
Man, yeah, come on, man. It's tomorrow. Everybody got to stop playing. If you're not 21 or in your young 20s, New Year is not a party situation. You happy to be alive tomorrow. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And the calendar flips over. So it's a new wild ass year for you to look at for old folks, you know what I'm saying, who happen to have 1-9 in the front of our birth year. 1-9, and then maybe a 7 after that. Oh, it gets wild for people to even imagine these kind of things. But yeah, seeing 2023 is nutcakes for me, bro.
You know what I did on my wild Saturday, New Year's Eve, brother?
What you do? Martinelli's apple cider mimosa up.
I tried to stay awake as long as I could after that 4:30 a.m. wake up call. I didn't. I think I made it. I made it to like 11:58. Was laying in bed. I think I heard the fireworks for like the 2 hours before that. I was out at the crack of midnight. I think I tried. I tried to stay up, man. It just wasn't happening.
Martinelli's apple cider mimosa up.
In the snow and the ice and the curbs and the streets of the
Risking
Tri-City
his
area.
life.
Martinelli's, yes, sir.
A Russian roulette with his life and an icicle. Yeah. Martinelli's apple cider mimosa up.
See, for real though. So hey, for all of you all, you always want to know, what Stix the big homie you're up to. So that's why we've been on a little hiatus. Your boy over here.
A Russian roulette with his life and an icicle. Yeah. Bruh, come on, man. You get to become acquainted, a front man, a pillar in the community. Literally, because you know the community better than the community know the community. Come on, dog. They should be coming to you like you legitimately running for mayor. Holler.
Martinelli's, yes, sir. You get that Bo Jackson surgery yet? I don't know. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Hell no. I am progressively getting worse in terms of physical capability. The medical industry in our country is the best in the world, right? But it is mad flawed, G. But it is what it is until they saw this piece of bone off and put a new one on. I know what a hip replacement surgery looks like. If you were to have a skeleton here right now, I've gone that far with it. Say you wouldn't want to do shit medically in no other country, you know what I'm saying, with a doctor coming out with a rusty ass steak knife talking about I got you. You know what I mean? The medical industry in our country is the best in the world, right? But it is mad flawed, G. The world hasn't known what we've been up to. Well, we've been catching up, man, but the world has been moving.
Man, well, you have to tell me what's going on.
The world has
keep
moving, whether we talking about it or not. In case you wanted to know, nothing happened on Monday Night Football, G.
That's funny. I mean, that's not funny, but I mean, that's crazy because I think that other than Sunday, I watched the Seahawks game on Sunday. I can't remember it because I was so damn tired.
What was the first thing that I texted you? In regards to this topic, if you don't want to say it, I'll say it. But what did I say? Did we just see somebody die, G? That's what I was asking. I think we just, I was dead serious. I thought that's what we saw.
When you were watching it live. People are out
here being ultra.
You saw it live and heard it and everything.
Exactly. Because of the visual clues. And I'm going to tell you, the cameramen are doing their normal work, except for, I don't think that they were supposed to catch real life facial expressions of men who had seen something they had never saw before. And at that moment, I knew this was real. This was something totally different. And that's when I texted you immediately. I said, dude, I don't know where you are, but I think we just saw a dude die on the field, G. We've talked about this in concept before, like, what happened if it's, because we were talking about hard hits and everything, right? You know what I mean? Right, we've talked about this. And I'm going, yo, this game is not going to be played. I'm walking through the house muttering, going, there's no way. Know how when a dude gets his leg twisted, the first thing that they do is move everybody back, and the two little trainer dudes with the tape on their belt come, and the little handbag with the stuff in it come
Yeah.
over, right? And they get
Yeah.
everybody out of the way. This time, because everybody had saw something they had never saw before, everybody was there. No one knew what to do in real time. It was a train wreck.
Yeah, and it was a cover up for a good 15 minutes of commercials, and then back to the field for a half a second. You still saw the groups of people, and then
it was a train wreck.
Back to a commercial or back to a ESPN commentary talking about how this game shouldn't be played, blah 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 blah, and they ultimately made the right decision.
No one knew what to do in real time.
However, it sounds like that when you're talking about the group of people around, it sounds like that didn't last as long as it sounds like it could have, because didn't the ambulance get there like within a couple minutes of when that was going down?
No one knew what to do in real time. It was a train wreck. If you didn't see those faces, the reactions live, you won't see them again for another 30 minutes of not knowing what's going on, right? They didn't show anyone's face again for a while. And then after a while, they started showing you, here are player reactions.
So then,
yeah,
like you were saying, it's got to be a production call after they get, through the couple commercials waiting for that ambulance to get there.
We're semi-live.
They said, okay, that's enough of that, because these are grown men in there,
we don't know, right? As a director, as a producer, calling camera 1, camera 10, all of this, imagine right in the moment, you have now seen something that you've never seen before,
right?
Live. Now you have to produce a live show. That's like imagining producing live some of the wildest historical events that we've seen, even some that that we know about, that come to our thoughts right away. But
and when all the cameras are trying to get that shot, like they're told, make sure you get a good shot of the players and all this, no matter what's going on, get your best shot. I mean, there's probably a couple guys that have been there for 10, 20 years that says, you know what, I'm not taking this shot. I'm going to get a shot of the crowd, or I'm going to get a shot of the big screen, or blimp or something, right?
This podcast is the voice and the emotion of the fan, okay? Of my fandom, of your fandom, oozing out through everybody's speakers and all of this, right? Oh my God, look at how many people have to react to this. Now they go, because the two guys, Joe Buck and Troy, have nothing to say. So they have to throw it to Susie, Booger, and Schefter. They don't have nothing to say either. Word is, homie investigations and everything says that the use of ventilation is not being used as heavily as a life-saving measure for them at this point. So things are pointing in a positive direction. We'll hope that they all stay that way. Kind of humorously alluded to a second ago, I had the fantasy championship on the line, right?
Yeah.
And forget my fantasy championship. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you in it too?
Oh yeah, like you didn't know.
Oh God, I didn't even know who the dude was I was facing.
Oh shit,
okay. I don't even know who the dudes are that I be facing. I just go undefeated. Well, I didn't go undefeated, you know what I'm saying? But I took a couple L's, but enough to make it look like everybody had a chance. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, how does the NFL react? Because my fantasy team was not the only thing that was on the line. There's people, teams and stuff have movement and jockeying that depended on the AFC, and what happened in this game. You know what I mean? And people are like, man, forget, fuck that, and fuck your fantasy team, and fuck these teams, and all it is, this kid. If y'all was watching, Most Dangerous Hits like I was as a kid, you need to chill out, okay? Look, peace to the kid. I love him. I hope well wishes, everything, all that. But at the same time, the NFL is a business shady like the government, dog. You think they ain't got storylines going and all of this? We've been trying to tell you it's been happening from day one. So you trying to think something real that happened to the NFL that they could not control, they're not going to pull out the spin doctors, dog? Tell them how you feel about this.
When they can capitalize on business in a way, the NFL will find every freaking way to do it,
Come
to
on.
spin it, to do it right, and make money and do their thing.
Always.
Why do you think Goodell took 30, 45 minutes to an hour to decide if they're going to play the game, which is fucking nonsense? You know, especially when you get a guy carted off who had to be resuscitated on the field, and you see the players and how they're reacting, and you know damn well none of them guys were very well. And from what I
No way.
see and from what I heard, it sounds like Zach Taylor
Sean McDermott.
and McDermott, you know, were the head leaders in this and said, you know what, this is not happening. So shout out to them. They probably not getting enough credit for
Come on.
How they handle that locker room.
Exactly. Come
53 plus men and
Come on.
other trainers and associates along with the team. This is the head coach who deals with enough during the game and in practice and all this. And now his whole mindset had to change to basically father figure, and take care of all these and make sure all these players are mentally okay after.
He had to go fight for them because I guarantee you, on everything I love, the NFL wanted that game to keep going.
Did you I don't hear? Disagree. I
don't know if you remember because you probably didn't have a sound up at the restaurant, but Joe Buck says they're going to give them 5 minutes to warm up. Now, where did that come from? Joe Buck doesn't come up with this off the top of his head. That was said through his earpiece. These dudes are just there to look pretty and to give us details of the game that we could already damn see. Okay?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody told him that. You trying to tell me the NFL didn't want that damn game to keep going? Why? Because where are we going to put it back on the schedule? I don't know. This is the number 1 and number 2 team pretty much in the damn AFC if you don't count Kansas City. Is 1, 2, 3, all 3 of them, right? So, you know what I'm saying? We need to figure something out with this game. We can't squeeze it back in somewhere because we got to do next week's schedule. We talking about doing what is the damn shit that they do with the TV channels when they decide what game? I'm spacing right now.
Oh,
the damn flex. We think about flexing the schedule for the week for the final week. We really don't know what to do. So you didn't think that New York NFL offices was popping like everybody was sleeping? Everybody's cell phone went off, dog.
Yeah, and they all got up and said, "Let's go." What we
on duty, off duty, every department.
Sounded shook and looked shook too. He was like, "What am I saying right now? Like, am I really relaying this message? Like, I'm just he's like the freaking assassination guy or whatever, you know, right in the middle of the gunfire, man. Throw him out there to be the ringer."
It feels like one of them old school where it's like when Walter Cronkite had to deliver the news to the country that JFK was shot. I mean, this is not that kind of magnitude, right? I'm not comparing them two things for idiots out there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would never, right? But what I'm saying is that dude had to deliver that news like we were talking about early on live television with something real that is out of production's control right now. Only thing production can do is camera off, go to a different camera that we want to see something. We go to the fans with empty stands. We go to something.
People leaving, right? You go to,
we show pictures of
traffic
anything
outside the stadium.
Because you think about, they tried to keep running commercials because they didn't have anyone who can put together sentences that would be significant in any way. No. You would just be throwing out word vomit if you said anything because you're not saying anything of consequence. You don't know anything. Nobody wants to hear your opinion right now. So it's kind of like just shut up. So they could have just, cut off, but they had to do something. They already paid for commercials, were already paid for, and all of that. But what I was saying before we did that, the NFL is a huge conglomerate. How do you put a spin on all of this, right? And I was talking about your boy Dana White. Love to hear how he's running this huge conglomerate. He is the head. The drama is his.